Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Automation Station, episode 130. We've been doing this for quite a while here, guys. Where's the music? Need some music. I know I guess I gotta be on it. All right, here we go. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday, coming into Memorial Day weekend. Not that we've been able to enjoy any of the month of May here in New Jersey. We've been robbed of May.
Oh yeah, we sure have.
There was a couple nice weekends. There was like a weekend. The first two weekends were nice.
Yeah.
The second half of the month. Hi, Doug.
Doug on a Friday? Doug's normally a Monday guy, isn't he? He's not.
No,
Doug's all the time, guy. As long as he.
All right, Doug. That's my bad. Well, hey, we got a great show for you today. A few changes in the agenda. Okay, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently, and we'll explain why. But high level, let me just tell you guys what we're going to be doing here. Of course, for anybody who has automated PeakBot strategies entering at a 12 o'clock noon Eastern window, aka Iron Condor, Ben's XSP probably entering here in a few minutes. So we'll take a close look at that. Whoever has trend spread trades going, I think Ben does. There are some new updates to trend spread in which we're going to talk about here today. But we're going to do some live portfolio checks. We'll talk through our positions, what's going on and what's not going on. Trader trivia and some fun facts, opportunity to win some free PeakBot. We're going to talk about a new segment, hot bots. Okay, we're going to go through not only our own, portfolios, but what strategies are making money fully automated for PeakBot traders. So we're going to talk about what's hot, what's not, celebrate the wins, explain the losses, and go from there. And then we'll take a look at the week ahead. We'll do some SPY analysis, economic events, what bots are on, what bots are off, and give you guys any other announcements, updates, promotions. I literally read that word for word, as you guys know. So let's get into it. First, I want to get the banner up before we forget. Actually, we'll do that in just a minute. As well. Oh, you were ready to hide? That's nice.
Yeah, I was gonna hide for the banner.
Well, thank you. So Ben, I think you got your screen going on here. Why don't we tell the people what we're looking at?
So this is my account for today. As you can see, a lot of SPX, some IWM trades going on here. Here's a look at the port. We've got my X spread from last week that I'm going to hold till expiration, collect full premium there. I've got my Zillow Condor. I did close out of the call side early, hoping for a bounce back, but we did not get one. So I am going to take a loss on that. That's going to net out to about, I think it's like a $75-ish loss on the week. Not too bad. I'm not unhappy. I'm not happy with it, but I'm not unhappy with it, if you know what I mean. Coming into this week, we've made some updates to the trend spread bot, and we're going to show on my screen here in just a minute those new trades coming in through trend spread. So the major updates coming to trend spread are: one, we are only going to sell spreads that are one strike apart. So what that means is if an options chain has strikes every 50 cents, the spread's only going to be 50 cents. If the chain has spreads every $1, spread's going to be $1. That's big update number one. So that's going to help everybody budget a little bit better, because when we were budgeting based off selling the 30, buying the 10, that got a little, we need to show my screen. We got trades.
Oh, sorry.
So trades are going to be popping up right here in just a second. So that's the first big update. It's going to help with budgeting for sure. Second big update is we're no longer selling the 30 delta. We're selling the 22 or less delta. And that's going to, here's my Condor trade. Bang, XSP, $48 in premium collected. Thank you very much. So that's the other big update. It's the delta. So that's going to increase our probability of profit because we're selling a lower delta. and further out of the money, less of a chance that the stock price is going to go against me. It's going to get out of my favor. So those are the two major updates. Now, the third update doesn't have to do with the bot, but rather the watch list. The watch list, and there we see my 3 new trend spread orders getting placed. So we'll take a look at what exactly those did in just a second. So the watch list for the new trend spread is going to be very, very slimmed down to where we're only going to be showing roughly, I'll call it 20 tickers at a time. That's because we're removing a lot of the tickers that don't have a high enough expected value. Now, obviously, we want a positive expected value, but we are leaving some negative expected value just to keep some more tickers populated on the watch list. So I did pick my tickers off of the watch list today. When we go over our trades, we can cover these 3 in more detail. I got SOXL, I got NEM, and I got KRE, 2 condors and a bull spread. Yep, that's a bull spread. So we'll dissect these a little bit further. Wait for SOXL to fill, hopefully, at my 14-cent credit, currently trading above that dollar amount, but all looking good. Dylan, you are muted.
Damn it. Those are 50-cent spreads, huh? At least that's what
some of them. I mean, we've got SOXL, 50-cent spread. We've got NEM at the dollar spread. KRE is a 50-cent spread too. So I love it. I love it when I can collect more than 20% ROI on my risk, right? So for example, SOXL, I've got $50 at risk. I collected $14.
28%
when that fills. That's 28. No, that's 28%.
I'm looking at the number on the watch list, which we should be sharing and showing, maybe.
Yeah, 28% ROI expected there, and a really high. What's the pop say on the watch list right now?
Pop. Here we go. Let's just give the people.
Bring it up.
Okay. Remove your screen, please. Remove. Add. Zoom in. All right. So here's your KRE. Exactly how you filled. 80% probability of profit. 24% ROI, and a buffer above 3%. Amazing. And you know your formula of what you're looking for is great. And then when your max loss is $38 on the trade for the week, I mean, love that, man. SOXL, almost the same pop, just under 80%, 28% ROI, huge buffer here. Now it's a cheap stock. All right, so that's why the buffer is going to look a bit wider, but still a lot of breathing room. And then what was your third one, Ben?
NEM.
Hasn't filled yet, right?
NEM has filled. SOXL hasn't filled yet.
Oh, okay.
And NEM doesn't look like it's on the watch list right now, but every 5 minutes, this is cycling through new stocks. So what I like to do, and this is my kind of new approach, is I'll pull open the watch list at like, I don't know, 10:45. I'll glance at it and I'll kind of think of like remember the names, and then I'll check back like every couple minutes to see what the updates are. And if there's a name that's consistent throughout, that's telling me that that's likely a good setup. So that's kind of my approach.
I like this. To be honest with you, and we'll go through this. Like I told myself I was done with PeakBot picks this week because I didn't want to force trend spread trades. I got to tell you, when you're almost your entire list meets our core 4, which as an update for anybody who's not familiar, these 4 statistics right here, expected value, probability of profit, ROI, and buffer. If these are all greenlit, that means it's meeting our internal core 4 criteria. EV above 1, pop above 87, ROI above, what was it, 8 or 10? I forget.
Yeah, we're gonna need to update that though, because the pop should be above
always
78% minimum.
Yeah,
because we adjusted the delta here.
Oh, the delta, that's right. Okay, so we'll make some updates to that. Whether we want to talk through it live now or on another show, that's fine. We'll have time to do so. We're not doing PeakBot picks and the whole round robin. So let us know if we want to dive deeper there. But damn, I might have to be taking some trades later today on trend spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul, better results selling the 20 delta. Makes sense. Still got to be a good stock picker, but yeah, you're giving yourself a better chance at winning. Yes, great question, Paul. As you can actually see, I'll explain. So Ben, was your Soxal? I know it didn't fill yet, but it was a condor, right?
It was.
Same
if
thing
you want to pop that back up here.
And was KRE the same thing?
Yep, KRE was also a condor, which I did collect 12 cents on. So that's a 24% ROI.
Yes, and really quick, I am going to flop just so he knows. Paul, it's the trend here. If the trend is labeled as neutral, okay, then now you might be neutral when you look at it, and at entry it could be something else. It's going to do what the trend is what the trend is at the time of the order being placed. But if it's entering an iron condor, it's because it's trading with the trend. It notices it's in a neutral trend or a lack of trend, and it's going to sell both sides, a put spread and a call spread. So hopefully that answers your question. And then to look at Ben's account here, that's exactly what happened with his condor on KRE and what will happen if Soxal fills.
Yeah, and it'll be, and maybe we want to make some adjustments in the future, but it'll be the case that a lot of the tickers on the watch list are going to be condors because that's what's paying out the highest premium because you're getting two legs there. But as we see for NEM for me, I mean, I filled at 9 cents on a dollar spread, so that's 18% ROI. I'm still happy with that. But I mean, as we saw on the watch list, that one wasn't currently on the watch list, so it's probably flipping back and forth today.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. Do you have, I would take it that you do or do not have XSP Iron Condor live?
Oh, I do.
Okay, did that enter as well?
It did. I got 48
Oh, that's right,
cents.
48 cents.
And
Nice.
my, did I have an open condor from yesterday? No, the bot did not trade the condor yesterday.
Intentionally.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the bot updates for trend spread. Shout out Arlissa, educator to trader, who was helpful in coming up with this approach, took this approach manually off of the old trend spread watch list. So shout out Arlissa. Updates are live. Look, the beautiful thing is you don't have to sift through 150, 200 trade ideas on the watch list anymore. You're getting the top trade ideas based on our scanner, based on the criteria we're looking for. Right now, there's, call it, maybe 20 on here. So new and improved trend spread. Check it out. Thomas, you're not live on trend spread this week, are you?
No, I'm not. But
I'm
maybe
not.
in the next week or two.
Sorry?
Maybe in the next week or two.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I like this new approach because truthfully, before we made these updates, I was manually entering because I was grabbing a lower delta, probably that 22 delta or somewhere near it. So very excited to see what we can do here. All right. How about I give my bot or my portfolio update here?
What about Trader Trivia?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
All right, so for Trader Trivia, we normally would give away a free 3 months, and I think we're still going to do that. But if you wanted to take advantage of a different deal we have going on, we do have a Memorial Day deal. Maybe one of you guys could pull that post up on our screen. Memorial Day code FREEDOM, all caps. Check out with code FREEDOM, all caps. You're going to get 50% off your subscription for your first billing cycle. If you are, however, active military, contact us. We are going to get you free 3 months of PeakBot. Thank you for your service. We want to have your money making money while you are out defending our country and our freedom. So please contact us. We'd be more than happy to give you 3 free months. But for everybody else, 50% off with code FREEDOM at checkout.
Excellent. All right.
Cool. So for Trader Trivia, you could also get 3 free months, but this is going to be for our basic subscription only. You just have to answer this question. You have to text the answer in to the phone number on screen, which is 973-888-1166. And we will text you a link to get started with your 3 free months. So here is the question. Which of the following companies was not part of the original 12 companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average in 1896?
I like this question.
Is it A, the American Tobacco Company? Is it B, General Electric? Is it C, Coca-Cola? Or D, the Chicago Gas Company?
I don't know the answer, and I want to talk through my thought process, unless Thomas wants to first.
Let's go. All right, let's do did you know, and then we'll talk through the thought process.
Okay. So text your answer into 973-888-1166. If you get the question right, we will text you a link back where you can get 3 free months of PeakBot. So did you know that the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow, is a price-weighted index, which means companies with higher stock prices have a bigger impact on the Dow's movements, regardless of the company's size. So it is interesting, and I remember however long ago finance class was that we talked about this, but we talked about how you can calculate out what the impact each stock has on the index. So interesting to see. But this did you know, did not give away the answer to the question like last week's did you know did.
I was nervous about that.
So Doug says he's got a guess.
What's your Doug guess?
Doug with a guess. And while
throw your guess out.
While Doug's sending in his guess, Paul asked a question. What was the reason for going to $1 spread on trade spread? So it could be 50 cents, it could be $1, it could be $2.50, it could be $5, it could be $10. So it could be whatever the closest contract and whatever the closest strike is to the sold strike. And the reason we did that was easier budgeting, because when you sell the 30 and you buy the 10 delta, you could have a $1 spread, or you could have like a $3 spread. And if you're trying to set up your budget for the week based on that, that budget is likely going to change by the time the trades are actually placed. And it's also going to help limit losses, right? Especially for those unintentional wider spreads, which was, I know for us for the last few weeks, was kind of a turnoff, especially through this volatility that we've been seeing since February-ish. We wanted to control that a little bit better by having a fixed spread width versus a varied spread width.
Yeah, risk management and giving you more clarity on the entries, right? Like formerly, and we've had this happen live on the show where I set up a trade, I'm thinking I'm getting to get a $2 spread and I get a $3 spread. Now, all of a sudden, based on the entry time, I have $100 more of risk. Now you know what your risk is going to be. It's going to enter the tightest spread it can grab. Just had 2 kick with low premiums, 9 and 16. Gonna happen. I mean, based on your selection, and we're okay with that.
If that's on $1, yeah, it's a little low for $1. If that's on 50-cent spreads, that's amazing. Those are really good.
Let us know what stocks. We don't mind going through it. Yeah. Whether it's on the show or off air, we'll make sure you're clear on it. What else? All right. What's our guess? Here's my guess.
Yeah, talk us through your thought process.
It's not highly, intelligent, but here's what I'm going with. American Tobacco Company, I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like it was one of the first 12. Just tobacco was everything and everything back then.
Yes.
Okay. General Electric and Coca-Cola.
They're the two.
I wish I knew when Coke went public, when it was founded.
I feel like Coke was probably founded in the early 1900s, maybe late 1800s. So I feel
I'm going to say C, Coke.
I think it's going to be Coke too.
And same thing with Chicago Gas Company. That just sounds like American
like
Tobacco.
A boring name, like General Electric, Chicago Gas, American. Like they didn't have creativity then. Like they didn't have any competition for the creativity. You know what I mean? Like now you have
creative.
Yeah, lock into.
Nice. Thomas and I agree on something. That's cool. Maybe we're both wrong together.
All right.
Yeah, well, General Electric.
The answer is
okay.
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola wasn't part of the original Dow in 1896, and it didn't go public until 1919.
Okay, I have to tell you, I think subconsciously we covered Coke on our Monday show on Man and Machine with Mark, and I always do our IPO launch date, and I did not remember ever having one in the 1800s. So that is why I helped got that. Tobacco was huge. Chicago company was probably local. I say Coke too. Nice, Doug. I'm pumped when Doug's right. All right. By the way, GLD and IBIT. We'll take a closer look at it. I'm not sure how wide those are. Maybe you guys have a better Ben. You
GLD is a dollar wide, I'm pretty sure.
It's probably because there's not too much risk right now.
Ben, change the expiration date.
GLD next week. Yeah, it's going to be $1 strike on that. So I'm guessing you got 16 cents on that, which is still pretty good.
I think it's 9 cents on that one.
But I don't know, because IBIT is 50 cents, I'm pretty sure. So IBIT.
Take a look. Go to the 20 delta.
Yeah, IBIT.
GLD was 303, 302.
Yeah, I mean, all that sounds correct.
Yep, I'd agree.
I mean, you also have to think you're only risking $100 to make 10. You win, that's 10%. Or 9, that's 9%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move into the next portfolio update. I'm going to give mine very quickly. I don't have too much going on. The only PeakBot strategy that I am trading at the moment is King Condor. Now, King Condor has been very good to us. We are coming off of two losses. So not so hot the last 2 days, but still a strategy we know is going to win roughly 54% of the time, if that stat is correct based on our back tests. So we can see here, I have my King Condor position. This is the SPX Condor here expiring today. Are we out of the money right now?
We're stopped out.
Okay, I'm confused as to maybe why I would see both sides then.
Are you in a stat-based trade?
No.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Oh,
you are.
yes. Okay, that's stat-based.
Indeed. You got 15 cents. Oh, see, Dylan, we're trading the same portfolio today, King Condor and stat-based.
Okay, so that's what this is. So my King Condor is fully closed out then.
Yes.
Okay, then we got, stat-based, which is one of Max's bots here for 15 cents in credit. That's a 0 DTE stat-based bot. Outside of that, I just have holdings. I got assigned early on Comcast from a trend spread trade, I think 2 weeks ago. So I'm short 100 shares of Comcast. I own them at $35 a share. So essentially no movement there. I thought about getting rid of it, but it's not, I don't mind. I am bearish on Comcast. I hate Comcast. I hate all cable companies and internet companies. So yeah, don't mind holding that. And my Walmart, I was closer to break even. I own it at 98 a share. We're fluttering around 96.
Why don't you cover calls on it?
Because I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet, Thomas.
I mean, you're out of the money. I mean, you could sell a $99 covered call and break. You know what I mean?
I'm not comfortable doing it, so I'm not gonna do it yet. But those are my holdings right now. Account is up, so I'm at 14.2. I was nearing 15K earlier this week, but 2 King Condor losses are gonna punch that one a little bit. But this account was as low as 12.2 just over 2 months ago. So I'm up about $2,000 over the last 2 months, mostly on the back of King Condor and a Walmart resurgence. So that's the activity in my portfolio. Nothing super exciting, but we got 2 different SPX strategies with King Condor and 0 DTE stat. So yeah, and again, short week next week. So that's my portfolio. I'll probably get in some trend spread trades later today or Tuesday. Okay, Thomas, you want to show your portforfolio?
We're in the same portfolio.
Okay, then no worries.
The exact same thing. One stat base. Well, it should have been 3 stat base, but I forgot to add the bot to my Tradier one after the bundle. So it should have been really a total of 4 stat based trades for a credit. Forgot to do that, but oh well. So I only got 1 the one King Condor lost today. I was up to about 7,700 after the two King Condor losses. I'm back down to around 6,900, something like that. So really not terrible. It's just unfortunate, but again, back to that back test and back to what it's been doing. If you were to take a coin flip every single time and, kind of let the odds play out over time, you'll see the results you want.
Absolutely. Awesome. So yeah, and by the way, with King Condor, the losses, these are stop losses being built that are built into the strategy. All things considered, with the volatility and the movement in SPX, we'll take our defined losses there. I don't know how much uglier it could have gotten the last 2 days. I wasn't staring at the charts, but yeah, very happy to be stopped out, fully automated by King Condor. Okay. So Thomas is in a very similar portfolio than I am. He wants me to sell puts or call. You want me to?
Yeah, you can sell calls on your what do you call it? Sell calls on your
How far out? How far out you thinking?
Like a week. Just
1
right
week.
now, for $100.
Okay.
Would you be able
look at it? Huh?
Yes, King Condor is the one DT on SPX.
Yep.
Open close to the close of the previous day and then expires the next.
Yeah, here's some more info. If you want more info on King Condor, just head on over to PeakBot.com and you can click on bots. Okay, it's technically PeakBot.com/strategies. Okay, and you guys can check this out here. Starting capital, this is all based on back-tested data, but we are posting our live trades on King Condor from our lead accounts in our Discord channel. If you want access to the Discord, just shoot us a message. We'll get you the link. But you can see all the data on here: average win, average loss, win rate, and all the historical data here. Okay. Well, we've gone through our portfolios. I'm a little red on the week due to King Condor. Thomas is in a similar position. Ben, I'd imagine you're still a bit red on the week unless you've been doing some magic outside of those two.
Outside of the BTF trades, I'm green on the week.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we go over some trades here. Let's get that comment on. Okay, cool. So I definitely have a lot going on this week. I already kind of talked about my spreads from last week. I got X Steel. I've got Zillow. Zillow is going to expire in the money, unfortunately, so I'm going to take a loss there. I've got my Iron Condor trades today, different than the King Condor. That's just a regular Iron Condor. I've got an open 0DTE orb play today. That's just for testing. That's not anything that went live to the public. And then I've got my trend spread trades on for this coming week. I've also got IWM, and if anybody is on our email list, you would have seen that we are releasing a Ben bot, and that's just my personal IWM strategy that I've been trading, and we'll share some more numbers on it. But since March 5th, so through all these ups and downs, I've been able to make about $2,700 in profit, only using $20,900. So that's about a 12.9% gain over the course of the last 2.5 months or so. So we're turning that into a bot. If you want access to the Ben bot, check out an email that went out on Wednesday, I think it was, asking for beta testers. We do have a number of beta testers already signed up. So ready to get that rocket and rolling shortly. Other than that, we've got some new bots in the works with a new partner, Trendy from Simpler Trading. So the Trendy Trader is a trader within Simpler Trading, big trading brand. We've been working with him to develop 2 bots, one of those being an Iron Fly bot. It's really interesting because it scalps an Iron Fly in the mornings. And I mean, this bot has been awesome. He actually just posted about it.
I was just going to pull it up. Yeah.
We reposted it. His says SPX bot is looking great. 4 for 4 last week, 5 for 5 this week. Still in testing, but yes, we are accepting beta testers now. So John is pumped about it. The Trendy Trader, he's pumped about it. I'm pumped about it.
Average win?
It's been going great. we're shooting for a $50 scalp every day, $200 of risk usually on the table, but it, as you can see, it's clearly winning much more than it's losing. We're banking on at least an 80% win rate, which we have absolutely seen so far. And this is based off of Trendy's proprietary algorithm or proprietary indicators that he's been using to trade profitably for the past 8 years, I believe it is. So really, really awesome stuff there. I am pumped for that to be released. And then there will also be a option buying strategy based off of his PMZ indicator. And that's going to be an SPX only. So you do need to be able to day trade for these strategies. You do need to have that $25,000 in your account to be pattern day trader eligible. Well worth it, in my opinion, to put that kind of money into a trading account, even if you're not trading with all of it, just to have the ability to day trade. And then for my strategy as well, the BenBot, you need to have 25,000 in your account. So that's what I've got going on. I'll just roll us over into next week. For myself, I'm going to be reactivating the King Condor on my account. I am going to continue. I'm just probably going to do one contract there. I'm going to continue the BenBot trades. I'm going to continue with the Trendy Iron Fly. I'm going to participate in Trendy PMZ testing before we get that ready for beta. And I'm going to be working with the Squeeze Bot too. The Squeeze Bot was not as hot for me this last week. I'm probably just above even on the week there. But with these major market pullbacks, what could you expect, right? It's been pretty brutal out there, but the overall port has been holding up quite nicely. So that's what we got going on. And it looks like, Paul, you signed up for the beta bot on SPX. You signed up. Okay. No, it's different. The Trendy Fly is what we're going to be calling it. It's a 0 DTE Iron Fly. You can see the trade that it took here today. Let me just filter here to make this easier to read. So the entry was at 9:35. It looks like I filled. So I filled at 9:35. There's a little pop-up that I can see, but for some reason it's not showing up on the screen here with the timestamp. So it filled at 9:35. I got $22.35 of credit. And then at 9:46, so 11 minutes later, my fly here closed at a debit of $21.85. So there's that 50-cent profit target we're shooting for on a daily basis. So it's actually pretty funny. What is it? 5 days or 6 days ago, we took profit in 2 minutes. And then the next day we took profit in 4 minutes. And then the next day we took profit in 6 minutes. The next day we took profit in 8 minutes. The next day we took profit in 10 minutes. So we were expecting to take profit in 12 minutes today. Turned out to be 11 minutes. But all things considered, this is a very fast acting bot, right? Like all of our other bots are basically waiting till expiration or weekly. This is you're in and you're out in a matter of 15 minutes or so. And Doug, question, the reason I trade IWM other than RUT itself. I don't know. I've just been able to get a feel for IWM versus RUT. I also think that I'm also buying shares too. I don't think you could buy shares of RUT in my strategy. So it's a share it's a share options contract combo strategy that I'm trading. It's basically like a daily covered call type strategy, but I've got some adjustments that go in throughout the day to manage the position when we're moving down. We could actually take a look at what I've got into today. So far, I have not needed any adjustments. So today I got into a covered call at 9:45. And again, that timestamp isn't popping up here, but it is on my screen. So I bought 100 shares of IWM, and I sold the 201 call strike. And then I've got this order to close here at 295 total credit, whatever that comes out to be per leg. So that's going to be my take profit for the day. I basically just want to take the profit, so that way there's no risk of assignment. I have seen instances before where I was that call was in the money, which was fine with me. I want to get those shares called away. I don't want that overnight risk. It was in the money at 4 o'clock, and even after 4:15, which was the last minute that I could trade it. And then afterwards, IWM kind of dipped down, and I did not get assigned share, or those shares taken away from me like I had planned to. So I actually held those shares overnight, and I didn't like that, and I actually wound up losing on the shares because of that. So I'm getting out 5 cents below total value, and that also works out because Tradier charges $9 for assignment fees. So I'm actually giving myself a $4 bargain here by closing out 5 cents below my max win there. So that's the strategy. Pretty pumped to have that released. I've got
in testing, right now.
Spreadsheet somewhere. Yeah, hold on. I could pull this up on the screen here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is my spreadsheet here showing all of my trades. This is my equity curve. And this is just a picture of IWM's chart for, I think, March, just to show how I did compared to the chart. But this table kind of does the trick here. This is where we were in March, how I did, how IWM did, April, and then here we are in May. So I'm comparing the two. You can see if we want to get details on a per trade basis here. The wins are roughly the same amount as our losers, except for days that we have to adjust down multiple times. I knew I shouldn't have been trading this day. I even made a note about that somewhere. So I'm keeping it in the P&L, of course, but I knew I wouldn't normally trade on that day. There was a huge movement overnight. I just knew it was not going to be good. And actually, we do have a note to not trade this strategy when IWM gaps up 2% overnight. So yesterday's close to today's open. And when you do that, the win rate increases and the actual win amount increased dramatically. So other than that, though, you can see like the losses really haven't been that bad. Took a loss a couple days ago. I'm going to take this win here, hopefully today. And that is that.
All right. So DCZ is, PeakBot, very highly anticipated strategy. The more it wins, the more we are prioritizing getting it live for everybody. It's going to be a PeakBot Pro only bot, something that maybe we should talk about here. King Condor, Iron Fly strategy, what will be the Ben bot, all going to only be available on PeakBot Pro, which is normally $99 a month. However, if you have a new account that you are going to be creating and funding, Thomas, I'm going to, not that we haven't been blocking you, I'll show a little bit, but yes, 6 months of free PeakBot Pro. Okay, if you create a new Tradier account, I feel like Carmelo Anthony is here with your absence. Although the Knicks suck. Okay.
This deal is endorsed by Carmelo Anthony.
6 free months of PeakBot Pro. All right. So that's normally $99 a month. You're getting it free for half a year. What comes with that is free commission-free options trading with Tradier Pro. Okay. So that is included. Save on all options trades, whether it's completely free or reduced pricing on some of the ETFs. This is a big deal. I'm just going to keep talking, and just so Thomas stays hidden for longer. No, I'm kidding. Thomas, come on back now. But grab that QR code or head on over to peakbot.com/Tradier for 6 months of free trading. To wrap here, well, not totally wrap. We're going to, again, new agenda. We're working on all this. We're going to be, putting some more structure behind it. we've talked about our portfolios. We did our hands-free trading. We did our trader trivia. We kind of talked about the hot bots without really discussing them in clean order. King Condor, although hasn't been hot the last 2 days, we're still very hot on this bot. I think the collective here agrees that's our favorite PeakBot strategy right now. Only needs to win 54% of the time to be incredibly profitable. Okay. So we're still doing that. We're posting all of our trade results in our Discord. If you want to access, shoot us a message. Other hot bots. Ben, Squeeze has been, as you said, your individual portfolio this week didn't go as well as last week, but the Squeeze bot, okay, which is our partner, go to squeezefinder.peakbot.com, and you can get signed up there with discounted pricing to get started. So that's hot. We got King Condor. We got Ben Bot coming soon, probably our hottest bot, just not available to the public. Squeeze Bot's been good. Max's blend of strategies in the Max bundle, Premium Grab, 0 DTE Orb, and 0 DTE Stat collectively have been doing pretty solid. We've seen them perform better. Obviously, this volatility has been making it a bit difficult, but strategies are still winning. And I think in future shows, we're going to lay out this more clearly, maybe even in a slide with a link to get started, with results, with trades. Anything that's hot, we want you to know about, and we want you to know very clearly, so you're not missing out on some opportunity. Let's look ahead. How do you guys feel about next week? Obviously, what was it, 2 days ago, the Trump tax bill threw things for a loop. Even yesterday and today have been, a lot of movement. How do we feel going into next week with a short week? And then maybe we can talk about economic events and what bots are on or off and get out of here.
Yeah, Ben, if you want, pull up economic events and I'll pull up trading. I don't think there's too many economic events next week. However, last night or early this morning, it was wild. Because it's 7:30 this morning, 7:40. Trump announced that he wants to put more tariffs on iPhones. So that ended up absolutely crushing the market. Stock split, or the Dow split about 1%. And for today, we've pretty much just been seeing shots. I'm just going to go ahead and finish.
And Thomas, microphone's just getting a little watery there.
Are we good? Are we good now?
Kind of. All right.
A little better?
You are underwater. It is muffled, but that's
it
okay.
Does sound okay.
That's pretty good.
We can look right here. The market just dropped. Look at it on a 3-month chart. You can see previous lines that I've worked out for resistance ended up becoming support. So really, like our next, if we continue to fall, our next. Yeah, let me delete some of these lines.
I think we could probably fill that gap right there.
Yeah,
I would
say we either need to go up. The only thing that's scaring me is Trump going to say something else? What else is possibly going to happen? So that's why, Ben, is there any economic news that could potentially move the markets?
Yeah, so let's get my screen up here. So going into next week, we've got, obviously the market is closed for Memorial Day on Monday. So remember, abbreviated week next week. On Tuesday, we've got durable goods. We've got some bond and note auctions on Tuesday. On Wednesday, some more auctions. FOMC minutes on Wednesday. So note that down. Thursday, we've got GDP for Q2.
That's
going to be a big
one. Enough to turn the bots off? Because Wednesday, it's off, I would imagine, for FOMC minutes. King Condor's off. Most SPX bots are off there.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Thursday, too?
We'll have to evaluate volatility and look at the VIX, I'd say.
Okay.
So, and then on Thursday, we've got, what did I see? Oh, so Thursday was GDP. And then Friday, we have core PCE and the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report.
Yikes. A lot going on back of the week.
Yeah, but
I think we're going to see a lot of
at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I'm going to lean more towards what Mark usually tells us, that these broader events aren't too impactful to our trades, but we know that they are to an extent.
Yeah.
I would say that I don't foresee anything that's going to be majorly concerning, in my opinion, that's happening next week.
We bullish, we bearish, we neutral, generally speaking. Huh?
I'm neutral. I'm neutral for the whole week. I'm thinking we chop up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't think there's going to be any sort of quality price action to determine anything. We're just going to go flat.
Ben?
I need to look at a chart.
Pull up SPX. By the way, I think we should do SPX analysis instead of SPY analysis moving forward.
Same thing.
It is.
It's the week here. Let me look at
it. It is and it isn't.
I think, Thomas, I think we filled this gap right here.
I don't know. I think if we're going anywhere, it's down, but I just don't think we're moving too much. Like, I feel like we're going to stay above, like, at least on...
Yeah,
at least
I don't know.
We'll definitely stay, like, above 50-70 to end the week.
Oh, yeah? You want to do a lotto right now, dude? You want to
I mean, if I had to follow non-biased Ben's advice, I'd say the trend is your friend, and
this is great by Doug right here. Upcoming tweet.
Specifically for our president's upcoming tweets.
Yeah.
And or Elon. He can move the market with the tweet.
He could.
Not as much as Trump.
No. So Ben, what you're saying is non-financial advice, but if the trend is your friend here, we're looking like we're at the bottom of a bullish trend that might be bouncing back.
Yeah, I'd say on Tuesday when the market opens, if we open up, I'm bullish for the week. If we open down, I'm bearish for the week.
Yeah, because we're kind of right on this trend line here. I agree with that. Good analysis. Not financial advice. So Monday's off. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we start getting some economic events that we have seen previously bring volatility and some shakiness to the strategies. So, man and machine, keep an eye on your positions, know what you're doing, feel good about it. Bots will be off. Of course, no trades Monday. King Condor should be off for FOMC minutes on Tuesday. Likely the same with Max's bots. And then anytime any of our bots where VIX is taking into consideration or overnight movement, there can also be bots turned off then as well. So keep an eye. I think that's it, guys. Again, moving away from PeakBot picks, moving into just a live portfolio. I do think it will be helpful. And if you're interested in seeing this, I think I'm going to create my own model portfolio based on my live account balance. And I think I might be shifting that weekly, or at least that's the idea. There may be 3 or 4 weeks where I don't change a damn thing, but I want you guys to know what my plan is. I'm not asking Thomas and Ben to do the same thing live here on air because that would be rude and putting pressure on them. But that's what I'm going to do, and I'd like to share that hopefully by next Friday when we are live again. So anything else out of you guys for today's show? Otherwise, let's let people back to their Memorial Day weekend here.
Yeah,
I think we're good.
Get back to it.
All right. Well, we will be live. No, Monday we won't be live. There will be transparently a rerun of the former Man and Machine episode with us and Mark Phillips from Harvested Financial. That'll be playing Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Otherwise, we'll be live same time, same place next week, Friday, just shy of noon Eastern. Thank you so much for tuning in. Get your free PeakBot at peakbot.com/Tradier. And if you have questions, just message us on the customer support chat. We pride ourselves on being available. Thank you so much. And as always, we'll see you at the peak. Take care, everybody.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.